In today's episode of Thaumaturge, Victor Sulski, with Rasputin by his side, uncover a village gripped by fear after the mysterious death of its elder. Fights are breaking out. We meet Vesna, who is slightly unhinged and not afraid to show it.
Cut off his head.
What?
And her husband Luka might be in way over his head. And our coachman finally gets a well-earned break from carting us around all day.
Again.
If you're into narrative-driven RPGs with weird demons and messy moral choices, you're in the right place. Hi, and welcome back to the Midlife Gamer. This is part 2 of our playthrough of the Thaumaturge. Last time we got a feel for the game with the start of the prologue, did some tutorials, we were introduced to our main character, Victor Sulski with a W. He also lost his connection to his Salutor, the mysterious entity that gives him his supernatural edge. And understandably, he wasn't doing too great because of it. Luckily, we found Rasputin in the village who helped us re-establish that connection. We dipped our toes into the game's combat system, explored some early attacks, and tested out our perception skills to uncover lost lore and track emotional traces. It's a kind of like stepping into the shoes of a paranormal detective who can kick ass, and things are just getting started. So this is our second episode, and just a quick heads up before we carry on, I've made the decision not to read out all the lore and text we come across on screen. I'll leave it visible for those who want to pause and take it in, but I'll only comment during gameplay, etc. From here on out, things might be a bit more of a semi-quiet playthrough, especially during heavy dialogue moments. I just feel like stumbling through the pronunciations of every name and phrase may be a little bit distracting. So, alright, let's get back into it. Last time we reconnected with our Salutor, I believe his name is Lupa, and during the dream state / vision we came across a possible other Salutor, and now we've got a quest on our plate called Shadows of Sins Past, where we're meant to track down someone with flaws that a wild Salutor is drawn to. But we've also got the option to go and find Rasputin at the cemetery. And I think that is where I'm going to start. It feels like this is where the help may be at this time. But before we head out, I've got another skill point to spend. I haven't had the time to fully dive into a skill tree yet and review it, so I'm kind of winging it for now. That said, it feels smart to spread the points evenly over each of the dimensions, heart, mind, deed and word at this moment in time. That way we won't get locked out of any skill checks that come across in the game. In the last episode we dropped our early skill points into heart dimension, but as luck would have it, the quest that followed had us trying to identify items that were tied to the mind, deed and word instead. Yeah, sod's law. Bit of a miss there. So going forward, we need to be wary of that happening again. So, with a fresh skill point to spend, I think I've decided I'm going to invest it in the word dimension this time and pick up the fortune skill. That's the one with a 50% chance to interrupt the enemy's planned action, which sounds useful, right? I'm going to take the gamble out of my quick attack and I'm going to replace that with fortune. And now I'm going to slot gamble into the heavier hitting attack instead. I think that's a solid way to ruin someone's day. We'll see how this setup plays out. Like I said, I've not looked into builds yet, so I don't really have any idea what I'm doing here. So if you have got any suggestions or tips or skills or perk combos, etc., feel free to drop them in the comments so I can have a look. With that done, let's go and find where Rasputin is. Apparently he's hiding out in the cemetery. Well, not necessarily hiding. Multiple objects. Okay, that pop-up is just talking about being able to switch which quest we're going to track.
Excuse me, I need to get to the local cemetery. Could you give me a lift?
I've only just come back from the post office this morning. I'm not getting the horse going again. Back to the cemetery. It's not like anyone there is going to run away. And look, my horse is more dead than alive.
So the coachman doesn't want to take me to the cemetery. If I use my powers, I should be able to change his attitude. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Manipulation. Using the Thaumaturge, you can manipulate other people. First, you must know a person's secrets, which you can learn by making conclusions. If the manipulation is available, the character interaction icon will change, and the Upa will appear next to the character. So I have a feeling here, if I use my perception skill, we might see a couple of items to interact with. So we've got a little perception petals to indicate we've got something here we can investigate further. So the first item is a shovel that the coachman has used to dig out his coach wheels. So what else have we got going on here? Our second item here is a rag, which the coachman has used to wipe sweat from his head. We can now draw a conclusion about it from the sounds of it. And the conclusion is the coachman has been hard at work and is tired. So maybe we can start making him feel less tired, I'm guessing?
I'm not going anywhere.
As expected, we can take away the coachman's fatigue. So this does appear to be a skill check with the heart dimension now.
Maybe you'll change your mind and drop me off at the cemetery after all.
Well, on the other hand, this place isn't much more exciting than the cemetery, and I meant to take the horse out for a ride, so get on.
That was actually pretty cool. We managed to shift the coach driver's attitude using our heart persuasion there. Looks like we can draw magical signs on our book. Bit like Witcher vibes going on with those signs. So here's the cemetery, so Rasputin should be around here somewhere. Oh, there he is, hanging back from the crowd.
You're alive. Does that mean I helped, Thaumaturge?
You're alive. Does that mean I've helped the Thaumaturge? Right, what option should we go with here? I will thank him for his help.
I don't have enough words to thank you for what you've done for me. I haven't felt this way in years.
I'm glad I could help.
I see him. My Upa. He's back. I can feel our bond growing stronger as each moment passes.
I'm happy for you, but do restrain your joy. We're in the cemetery.
When I heard you were at the cemetery, I was sure I'd see you resurrecting the dead.
Not yet. Today I'm just praying for rest for Vasily's soul. The whole village is suffering after his loss. He was the elder here.
He cursed this place. Since he died, darkness and misfortune have hung over the village.
You see? To them, every harm comes down to witchcraft. They believe that after Vasily's passing, the village was possessed by some monster that howls at night or some other Yafiets.
Locals say that since the death of the village elder, a doom has hung over the village. Minor quarrels immediately turn into bloody fights, and people are tense and withdrawn. Things are not looking good. So it looks like there has been a death of the leader in the village. Let's inquire about that death.
How did this elder die?
There was a fire, sir. Flames shooting sky high, and him burning, swearing, speaking curses. And the curse stuck. Those ruins seem a profaned place now. A wicked spirit has taken over the blighted land.
Don't encourage her. Once she gets going, it can't be stopped.
This could also be the work of a Salutor.
What do you mean?
Okay, so the elder actually died in a fire in his home, it appears.
What changed in the village after the elder died?
It's all dreadful, sir. Everything's gone topsy-turvy. When folks get to arguing now, they're so hot-headed, before you know it, they're at one another's throats. Ladies have no patience for kids, nor lads for ladies, nor neighbors for neighbors. Any word might seem offensive and like an insult waiting to happen. Then you've got to fight.
Tragedies such as Vasily's death leave their mark on everyone. It takes time to come to terms with something like this. That doesn't mean this place is possessed by dark forces.
As you were healing me, I had a dream, a vision. But on the borderline of sleep and wakefulness, I thought I saw a Salutor. That's what might be influencing the villagers in Wailing at night.
They're good people, but none too bright, Victor. I'm afraid they might be talking about a train.
The wise woman was saying the evil spirit is a Bukovac.
Does the creature hunting you rattle chains, slither around, and have a mouth full of giant fangs?
A Bukovac.
Where did this elder live?
I'll show you. Let's allow Vasily's soul to rest for today. Amen.
So it does indeed appear that we might have a monster, or possibly a Salutor, which is called the Bukovac. So we can find the person with the flaw and the wild Salutor is seeking. However, we can also go and search the burned homestead, so I think that might be our option. Let's just have a quick look around, make sure I'm not missing anything else in the cemetery. Oh, we have got some red petals over here.
You will be mine, secret.
Unfortunately, I do not have the D dimension to learn anything further, but it looks like the Elder's tombstone has been damaged, which isn't a particularly nice act. Alright, looks like we're hopping back on the coach. Ooh, we've got a map now showing us a few places we can travel to. We could head back to the village to continue tracking the person with the flaw, but I think we'll take a quick detour. Let's check out the burned homestead first. Might find something useful before continuing the main quest. See what's cooking, or well, what was cooking. Nice fast travel between sites. So I just figured something out here. If you click close to your character, you walk, but if you click further away, you actually start running.
What do you expect to find in this place? The fire was almost a year ago.
Time doesn't matter much here. I'm looking for clues and personal traces that will lead me to whoever's carrying the flaw that lured the Salutor here.
I see. I thought I could be helpful to you, but I don't really understand what you're telling me.
Okay, so this moment is clearly here to teach us just as much as it's meant to help Rasputin, I think. Time to break down what flaws and Salutors are all about.
Above all, flaws are deeply hidden marks left in human souls. They form under the influence of tragic events.
What does that have to do with Salutors? Is that Latin?
Yes, from the word newcomer. People have always taken Salutors to be spirits, demons, or imps.
Like from those fairy tales, the wise woman and the other old crones tell the locals.
Sometimes, those sorts of fairy tales and legends describe how humans perceive a Salutor. They don't take a physical form. Salutors are attracted to the flaws hidden within people. Thaumaturges discover these flaws inside someone, bring them to the surface, and adopt them to lure the Salutor. Those are the moments when I've usually failed. I haven't been able to hold on to a Salutor. I didn't know how to bind one to myself.
What about you? Do you have a flaw?
Who's that guy aimlessly pacing around in the background there? Is that our coach driver? He's probably wondering where his horse has wandered to.
I bear the flaw of pride.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And now? Thanks to your help, I can once again discover people's flaws and the Salutors hiding behind them. And I think I'm now able to catch my second Salutor.
So, not content with just the one Salutor, sounds like we're going after a second. Let's hear why having two may be dangerous.
If I do manage to catch another Salutor, that would be a very rare occurrence, in fact. An ordinary Thaumaturge wouldn't even try more than once. Only a few have multiple Salutors.
Why?
So it turns out having two Salutors is kind of a big deal. Few people have even attempted it. Fewer have survived by the sounds of it. But hey, if one's good, two's got to be better, right? So we've got a proud answer here. Say the others are cowards. Yeah, that's not really me. Honesty over arrogance any day, I think. So let's tell them what happened when we tried.
Some have lost their lives trying, others their senses. I was close to madness. I lost my sense of reality. I didn't know what was true. But I know I can do it. I'm almost 100% sure.
Isn't this exactly the sort of thinking that caused your problems that led you to me?
That doesn't matter anymore.
Then what's changed?
This time, I've got you with me.
So it appears that having Rasputin with us is giving us confidence to try for this second Salutor.
Why did you want to come here with me?
I have never gotten to know a Thaumaturge so closely. I'd like to learn as much as possible about your abilities.
People always leave behind individual bits of their personality, even on everyday objects and such. I can decipher the thoughts and actions imprinted on these objects, and then match them to their owner. This lets me gather immense knowledge about a person, especially if I need to find someone.
What else can you do?
I need to look around this place a little more.
I won't stop you.
I most probably didn't do those options in the correct order there. The story flow felt a little off for me, but no matter, we now need to search Vasili's burned homestead.
Can you feel it? It's the smell of mystery.
Okay, first clue is there, burned door frame there. It talks about the emotion of a loss of a loved one, possibility somebody has tried to break the door down to try and rescue somebody inside. We don't know who this observation is for, as the trace is unknown, but it sounds like somebody's trying to get in the house because a loved one is inside.
A horrible death.
Next clue. The fire wasn't what killed them. Looks like somebody may have been murdered with scissors. Brutal. So, have we got anything else inside this hut that needs our attention? I don't think so, but we do have a red circle on our radar minimap there. Does that mean there is something further to find? Let's go and have a look around outside. Okay, got some more markers here. A rag doll. Again, trace unknown. But this might suggest a child was present. The minimap marker is now gone, so I think that is everything. Still, I'll take one last sweep around to be sure. No, doesn't look like anything else is here. But it does seem like our Upa wants a word.
This house was always full of fear, and its owner was still alive when the house caught fire. Someone wanted to kill him. The fire only covered up the crime. Another gave birth to the flaw that you attached to, didn't it? I'll find you when I track down the murderer.
That thing looked nasty, so that must be a Bukovac, yeah? Time for a conclusion.
Victor! I hope you've got what you want now, Thaumaturge. Because I think it's time to get out of here.
Why the hurry, Father? We're the Tsar's men. How about the donation for the Tsar's army?
There are no Russian outposts here.
I think this is the guy with the nice boots.
You're the guy who trashed our comrades?
Looks like our old friend the boot thief is back for another round. He wants to know if I'm the guy who thrashed his comrades. Well, yep, that was me, and I've got no problem doing it again, so I will say yes, and that I will do it again.
I can do exactly the same to all of you.
He's not as weak as he looks. He actually looks better than he did the other day.
But not counting the priest. He's still alone.
Not anymore, I'm not.
Alright, let's jump into the fight. Oh, okay. Looks like we can actually tweak our upgrades before things kick off, so that's good to know. So they're not locked in permanently, which is a relief. But I'm going to leave them as is for the time, see how we get on with them. Okay, these guys look like they've got some big health numbers there. In order to launch a strong attack against an enemy, you must take away all of their focus. Ah, okay, so this is what focus is all about. We was talking about focus at the end of the last episode, and took us a while, but we're finally catching up with the game now. So if we take away their focus, it causes them to enter the breakdown state. Strong attacks are much more powerful than other skills and allow the fight to end quicker. Alright, so focus looks like what may be some kind of shield mechanic. Like you can't do as much damage if there's focus on them. Only one way to find out. Select the diversion skill to lower an enemy's focus. Right, so that's the diversion skill there. So as instructed, I'm going to cast it on him. You and your Salutor each have your own separate set of skills. Plan which you want to use and give the Salutor an appropriate command. Okay, so my Salutor can actually attack as well. Good to know. He's highlighted here, so yeah, looks like I need to pick something for him to do. So what have we got going on here? Eerie Intoxication inflicts damage and restores health. But it lands before we've taken any hits, so yeah, not much point taking that right now, but sounds an interesting skill. Then there's Bloody Penance, 12 points, that's solid. Says the higher your health, the more damage it does. So does that mean it's capped at 12 either way? Alright, I think that's our move. Let's bonk him with that. Strong attack opportunity. The enemy has lost all of their focus and now is in the breakdown stage. This is a great chance to launch a strong attack. Alright, looks like I actually get to pick another skill here. Yeah, concussion. Hits for around 23 to 24 damage. That's a pretty chunky swing there. Guess that means it's always smart to strip off focus first. Looks like it doesn't even cost us an attack. Maybe I'm thinking though, if enemies stack multiple focus points, then this may change, but for now, that's a solid combo. I guess let's do the same again. Let's strip the focus from the second guy. Nice, the Salutor lands and hits and restores 5 HP in the process. And concussion drops the other guy flat. Beautiful. Well, I guess we do the same for the last guy. If it works, why fix it, right? And that finished that last guy
You're
off.
right, sir.
Me? Yes, but can these Salutors also help you in a fight? Can you manipulate people and cast these demons into their minds?
Generally speaking, yes. Are you sure you're right, sir?
Call me Grigori.
Let's head back. I have to visit someone in the village who can tell me more about what happened here.
Ooh, a little bit of a stutter there. Game had to think about it for a second. Okay, so that fight was fairly basic, really. We use the same set of skills in each person without them getting too many hits in. So what seems to happen, once the focus breaks, I then get an opportunity to attack further. So those guys were carrying some weapons there. Do I get the opportunity to equip weapons in the game? I didn't see any loot system yet, which is a shame. Alright, guess we're heading back to town then. Let's pop over to the village. Gotta say, looking at these quick load screens.
I felt something.
They'll all gawk, but without lifting a finger. Just, Vesna will bring it, Vesna will help. But if Vesna needs help with something, there's nobody to be found. That's not yours, don't touch! All these newcomers causing more problems.
Okay, so that lady with her apples and a bit of an attitude towards the non-locals there is the same trace we found on the rag doll. So we need to find her home and discover what's behind her jittery conditions. And also her bad attitude, I'm guessing. Okay, let's go and track her down and have a talk to Vesna. See, I'm going to be like constantly mashing this perception button because I know I'm going to miss something, some bit of lore or story that will give me XP otherwise.
Am I sensing?
Got something over here. We have a wooden box. Trace is certain it's Luka. However, it does have something to do with Vesna there, some indication potentially that they may be a couple. Perhaps Vesna and Luka could be husband and wife. Anyway, we've got another point to spend. I'm still trying to spread these evenly, a little bit of everything for now. So let's go with Thief of Thought in the D dimension. That one reduces focus by an extra point if the enemy is in a suffering state. I think that does actually need to go into one of the first attacks because it reduces the focus down if suffering. No point sticking it on concussion, since by then the focus is already gone. I need to have a play around with these perks now. For now, I'm swapping Fortune out the quick attack and dropping that into the strong attack slot. That way, if we land a heavy hit but don't finish the target, we've still got a 50% shot to interrupt their counter. As for Thief of Thought, I'll put that on the quick attack for the time being. I don't actually think that's where it needs to go, but for now, that'll do. Right, so we're looking for Vesna, aren't we? Let's see if there are any more clues laying around here before we go inside the hut. We've got a couple of interactables here. What we got?
Love inscribed here.
Whoa, that disappeared too fast. I think that said an axe handle. So it does sound like Luka is actually Vesna's husband here. Let's have a quick look what's over here. Dish shards. So Vesna looks to be involved in a fight with somebody. With it being outside her house, you would think it was a husband, but it doesn't make any reference to Luka. Let's make a conclusion. Ah, yeah, so it was a husband she's been fighting with. And here's Upar. Let's see what kind of ghostly wisdom he's got for us.
Now I know that woman's trace. Vesna and her husband both left traces of themselves at Vasily's burned out farmstead. Luka sincerely loves his wife. You think he loved her strongly enough to kill for her? You're right. It'd be better to ask Vesna about that.
Okay, looks like Luka's trace was the one on the burnt door frame earlier. Okay, time to see if Vesna's home. Maybe she can clear up a few things for us.
I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over.
Please open the door. I'd like to have a chat about your husband.
He'd better not be here when he gets back. He's not as talkative or polite as I am.
It definitely sounds like we're on the right track here with these two.
I know you're scared, but please, just open the door a crack and let me ask one quick question.
What do you want?
Do we give her the doll, or do we try and calm her down with the heart dimension? Let's try and calm her down first.
Please, don't be afraid. I just need to know where I can find your husband.
He's chopping wood in the clearing by the forest.
Well, unfortunately we didn't get the opportunity to give her the doll back. Would have been interesting to know if that choice actually branched the story, but I guess that is going to stay a mystery for now. Looks like our next stop is the forest clearing. Time to track down Luka. Guess that means another ride with the coach driver. This man's earning his paycheck today.
Again.
This time, it's a matter of life and death.
How is your search going?
Almost finished. I know who's attracting the Bukovac.
Can you reveal that secret?
It's Luka. It has to be Luka.
Do you still want to catch that Salutor?
Yes, absolutely.
Despite the risk?
I hope I can persuade you to come with me.
That's an enormous favor you're asking me. I hope you'll be able to return it.
I give my word.
Did you hear? We're going to see Luka Bogosian.
So we're already cutting deals with Rasputin here, slipping into that you'll owe me one territory. I can already feel that we're going to pay for that later on in the game. Not sure how I feel about owing him anything at this moment in time. Let's see if we can find Luka.
I'm not here to fight.
Luka!
How's Vesna managed to get there before me? I was on the coach. She must have sprinted.
You shouldn't have threatened my wife.
Why did you do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one who brought the Salutor here. The spirit that you all say arrived in the village after Vasily's death. The Salutor is what's making fear consume you all and making you hot-headed. And it's because of your flaw, which has been within you since the murder took place.
A murder might just be about to take place.
Cut off his head.
What?
Tear off his head before he opens his mouth again.
Unless you're the one that killed him.
Ah, so it was Vesna who murdered him. She's definitely got the attitude.
And I'd do it again if I could. Get out of here!
Here you are, Bukovac. Vesna's flaw is mine, and you're mine.
Fighting wild Salutors. To defeat a wild Salutor, you must get rid of the shadows that protect him. Vanquishing the shadows will weaken him, but the weaker he is, the more fiercely he will fight back. The bar tells you when the wild Salutor sends more enemies against you. Let's get into this. Yeah, I'm liking the setting here with the Salutor hovering there in the background looking over us. That's pretty slick. Let's start the fight. Okay, first observation there, that's a lot of focus our enemies pack in. I think our first priority, we need to work on reducing that. No need to restore health just yet. Okay, interesting. We still get an attack phase even when the enemy's focus isn't fully depleted. Maybe it's actually because they still don't have an attack in the round till a later time. Wow, look at that Salutor's attack there. Doom, that's going to hit us shortly. Ouch. Ah, so here's Doom being cast on us. Bukovac has caused you to enter the suffering states. States can have a benign or potentially deadly effects. Read their descriptions carefully and don't get caught off guard. Right, so what we've got going here. Looks like the Doom effect stacks up to 4. That means by round 4 we're looking at a possible 8 hits worth of damage. Oh, it could really drain us up to that point too. Alright, I think I'm going to start chipping away at that focus again. And I think for Upa's attack, I think we need to actually get a bit of healing back. Ooh, only got a small amount of health back there. Not great from Upa. Oh no, he's cast another negative buff on me. Another debuff, wow. Reduces healing by 40%. So basically half of my health restore will be wasted here. You know what, let's forget this. Let's just end this. He's only got 5 HP left. Let's hit him with the quick attack. Ouch, 6 damage from that Doom right at the start of the round. That could be 8 next time, yeah. These fights need to end fast. Another Doomcast is incoming in round 7. Oh, wow. Wonder how much this is going to have to take off us if it's stacking. Ooh, check out this skill though. Reduces focus and clears negative state. That's a game changer there. Let's pop that in. Nice. Statuses have gone and the enemy has lost focus too. That's huge. Let's hit him with a concussion and take him out the fight. And after taking a few punches and slaps, we finally knocked Vesna's shadow to the ground with a whopping hit for 26 damage.
You lose, you lose, you lose. You're going crazy again, you blind fool.
A little faith, Thaumaturge. Focus on what's true. My voice is true. I am the truth, you see. Look.
Taming a Salutor. You defeat Bukovac, the D-dimensional Salutor, but you cannot take him on your own. Rasputin comes to your help. The untamed Salutor won't obey your orders, stops you from developing and weakens your perception. Fortunately, Rasputin soothed his anger. You achieved the unachievable. Wow, so looks like we've got ourselves a new Salutor.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Well, I don't think I'm hallucinating, but that means I'm currently facing a crowd of furious lumberjacks with axes, so I'd say I've been better.
What? What? I'm telling the truth. I do it again. None of you understand anything. It's because of this magician. It's his fault.
The magician didn't kill Vasily. He didn't bring the evil here. You're a witch! To the stake with her! To the stake!
And you? Why are you just standing there? Are you just letting them do this? Fine. I'll handle it myself. I did it before, and I can do it now.
What have you done?
Go. You don't need to see this.
Alright, that got tense real fast. We've got a whole axe-wielding mob out in front of us, and Vesna's over there saying she'll kill again. She's not exactly helping her defence there. What really got me there, though, is she's trying to pin it on me. I mean, come on, I've just saved half this village, and she's out here throwing me under the metaphorical wagon. Unbelievable. However, let's deal with what we've got in front of us. Prevent Luka from making a rash decision. Remind Luka of the proof he loves Vesna. Force Vesna to flee. Well, she's the murderer, so I'm not going to force her to flee. I mean, does he truly love her? Is she a witch? Has she cast a spell over him? I really don't trust her attitude one bit. I mean, honestly, I want her to face the music, in fairness. I mean, unless that Salutor somehow puppeteering her. Let's go for prevent Luka from making a rash decision.
Nothing has to be decided at the moment. Certainly not things that can't be undone.
Well, exactly. Beat it, you scoundrels. There's enough blood in this village already.
Sharing a village with murderers?
You were the first to spill blood!
It's not the same. If that's the case, you're banished from the village. Get out of here! We'll burn away the impurity you left in our village. Phew.
Yeah, that isn't exactly how I was expecting that to pan out with that decision. I mean, look, I didn't think she should be saved. She straight up murdered someone. But Luke is saying something there about the mob still spilling blood first. I mean, did they? Did I miss that part? I mean, it's totally possible with my attention span. I don't know if you'll get some sort of story that develops later from this decision we've made. I don't know. Maybe these characters will just fade into obscurity now. Okay, send a telegram at the railway station. But we do have another point to spend. Ooh, we now have a Bukovac here in our skill tree, so do we get to play with both our Salutors or just one of them at a time? Alright, for the sake of an even spread, I'm dropping a point into mind. That gives us a coverage across the whole skill tree. It should help with any checks that come up in the game. Upgrades are available. Ooh, what's this? We've got damage over time, old wounds. We do indeed get the damage over time skill here. That's exactly the kind of pain I like to dish out. I do need to have a play around with these upgrades now, though. I will come back to you after I have made my decisions. So welcome back. Didn't want you to suffer while I pondered for ages where to put what upgrades were. However, just a quick rundown, I've decided to put them as follows. So I've put Fortune and slotted that into my quick attack. Thief of 4, I've slotted into my new damage over time attack. Gamble is in my planned attack. And finally, my Restore Focus skill, I have just slotted into the Diversions skill. Stagecoach Striper's throwing up waves like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out. Dude's probably thinking he didn't sign up for a full-time taxi service today. Okay, we've got a traveller here that wants to talk to us.
Sir? Do you happen to know when the train arrives? The postmaster said it's usually no more than an hour late, so it should be here any moment. I got a tougher question for you.
Pardon?
Will this train get me close to Albuquerque?
I'm afraid that's an ocean away, and even to the ocean you've got a ways to go.
Thank you. Ever since I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, I can't get my bearings. The things I've seen, sir. Places I've been. I just can't get to Albuquerque.
We're on a different continent here, aren't we? I'm not sure what that conversation was about. We're like a million miles away from Albuquerque. Bit strange, though, because it's not updated anything. It's not updated anything in my journal, has it? Ooh, what have we got here? We've got our update there for Rasputin. It's just basically saying we owe him our life due to his help with the battle with the Bukovac, or however you pronounce it. And we also have an update for Vesna. So here, for Vesna, it's saying something interesting. It's actually saying the Bukovac was attracted to her flaw, which materialised when she killed her violent father, seeing as no other way to save herself. So was the village elder her father that she killed? Have I totally missed that? I need to pay a bit more attention to what's going on, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and send this telegram. It's kind of strange we didn't get anything from that guy, just a quick interaction and that was it. Maybe a quest will pop once we wrap things up here.
I wanted to send 2 telegrams, one to Warsaw and one to Paris.
Mr. Shulsky, I was meant to send for you when the driver came to get the mail. My condolences about your father. Do you still want to send something?
So, it looks like our father has just passed away, unfortunately.
Did you come to say goodbye to me?
More like to share my fear. Your condition yesterday, after the fight with that Bukovac, it troubled me. I don't think my treatments are having a long-lasting effect. And you don't look the best. Do you feel all right?
I've just heard that my father is dead.
My condolences.
After your treatment, when I was hallucinating, I saw him. I heard his voice for the first time in years. I'm sure it was him. A strange feeling.
Maybe he came to say goodbye. Maybe it was his last chance to speak to you. A prophecy.
I hope not.
What do you intend to do now?
I don't actually know what we intend to do now. Say that you just had to change your plans. What plans? Say that you've got to go to Warsaw.
Just a moment ago, I was thinking about Vienna or Budapest and going on from there to Paris, but now I've got to get to Warsaw first. What about you?
Thanks to you, I don't think I have anything else to do here. I had a little time to think about what I saw in your mind. Tell me, Victor, have you ever seen a human skull cracked open on the cobblestones?
What type of question is that from Rasputin? Have you ever seen a human skull cracked open on a cobblestone?
I haven't.
I have. The skull of Franz Ferdinand himself, with his brain spilling out onto the sidewalk. I also saw the white steps in Odessa running with blood. A battlefield blanketed in lethal fog, with faceless beings emerging from it. This hasn't happened yet, but I saw it as clearly as I see you now. Thanks to you, I know that I can stop it. I know that I am part of history, and I can change it. Even at the cost of scorn, contempt, or my life. You promised me a favor, so Warsaw sounds perfect.
So, Rasputin's had some kind of vision or dream there about death of Franz Ferdinand and more, and that's still to come. And because of it, he's decided to join me on a trip to Warsaw. If that is the return of the favour he is after, I think I've been let off lightly there. So that looks like that was just the prologue. Looks like we're all going to Warsaw now, even Rasputin's coming with me. I'm still not sure about Rasputin though, he's been an ally up to this point, but I can't shake that feeling he's gonna turn on us. For the moment though, he's been more help than harm. Time to get in the game.
Warszawa! Warsaw! Warsaw! Last stop, Warsaw. Time to wake up.
It's clouding over.
The weather is like my mood.
Aside from the circumstances of the funeral bringing you back, you hadn't thought of ever returning here?
I don't know what the papers are saying about Warsaw. Let's tell them what we think about Warsaw. Let's just go with that.
I hate this city. It always makes me think of the stench of vodka, sweat, and urine. Corruption, poverty, and trust me, no justice but street justice.
I'm sure something must have changed since you left.
But probably not for the better.
What about the people? Those close to you? You'll never miss them?
The only person I consider close is my sister, but Varsovians? Let's see. Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
The newspapers feed on sensation. Remember that in darkness, even a small spark can be seen clearly. Even I can feel hope from all the people riding with us. Can't you?
Let's find out what we can sense from the other passengers on this train. And hey, if that guy from Albuquerque's on board, we definitely won't be picking up any sense of direction, that's for sure.
Even without my powers, I can tell that hope is bringing people here from all three partitions. Miners, steelworkers, governesses, maids, speculators, thieves. I've forgotten to read a few of our fellow passengers' possessions, and I know that hope can have many faces.
Will you share that knowledge with me?
There's a terrified woman riding with us. She's either running away or in hiding. I think that gentleman is smuggling something, because excitement is all mixed up with guilt inside him. And this dandy, he's going whoring.
If there's something I've learned in life, Victor, it's never to neglect the whores.
Warsaw, end of the line. Welcome to Warszawa.
I think the time's come to ask where you plan to stay.
I'll let you know when I come up with something.
Wow, that was a big cutscene and an intro into the next chapter of the game. Here we are, rolling into Warsaw. Looks like there's already some unrest brewing with the Tsar's visit. And when we stepped off the train, we definitely sensed something there. Not sure if it was that man who slipped off behind us, but something is already off. We've received a new quest, the Mermaid City Sun. It says to go to our father's funeral. But before we go any further, we do have another point to spend. Brutality's sounding good there. I think that brutality looks a good one to me. Increase the damage from the Salutor's next attack by 50%. I'm gonna go with that. I don't really have a reason. It just feels right to me at this moment in time. We now need to slot that into a skill. What can we slot it into? Oh, you know what? I may take relaxation out of this diversion and slot this brutality in there. See if that works for us. Well, I think that's a good place to close this episode. And that wraps up this episode of the Thaumaturge. We tracked down terrifying Bukovac and somehow managed to tame it, with a little help from Rasputin, uncovered the truth behind the village elder's death, and somehow ended up saving Vesna, who very clearly wanted to cut off my head. I'm still not over that. Now, with Rasputin at my side and with the village behind us, we're stepping into Warsaw and whatever shadows await us there. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. Share your thoughts in the comments, especially if you figured out any good skill builds for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode, assuming that is Vesna doesn't beat me to it.